Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to have you here as we explore the fascinating topic of the biodiversity of the Western Ghats. Today, we'll delve into the rich variety of life that this region supports, including plants, animals, and ecosystems. We'll also look at the importance of conserving this incredible biodiversity and the efforts being made to protect it. So, let's get started and uncover the natural treasure trove that is the Western Ghats. Let's take a closer look at the biodiversity of the Western Ghats. This region is truly a treasure trove of life, hosting a wide variety of plant and animal species. It's one of the world's 8 hottest biodiversity hotspots, which means it's incredibly rich in unique species that are found nowhere else on Earth. The Western Ghats' diverse climate and terrain, from lush forests to mountain streams, create ideal conditions for this incredible variety of life to thrive. Understanding this biodiversity is essential because it highlights the importance of conserving this region, not only for the species that live here, but also for maintaining ecological balance. This slide sets the stage for exploring how vital these ecosystems are and why protecting them should be a global priority. The Western Ghats, also known as the Sahyadri Hills, are truly a treasure trove of biodiversity. They are renowned for their rich and unique mix of plant and animal life, making them one of the most important ecological regions in the world. In fact, the Western Ghats are recognized as one of the 25 biodiversity hotspots globally, highlighting their exceptional ecological significance. When we look at the variety of life they support, it's astonishing. There are over 7,402 species of flowering plants, along with 1,814 species of non-flowering plants. The region is also home to a diverse range of animals, including 140 mammal species, 510 bird species, and 180 amphibian species. Not to forget the insects. Their diversity is incredible, with around 6,000 species, plus 260 reptile species. What makes this even more critical is that at least 325 species found here are threatened globally. This underscores the importance of conserving the Western Ghats, not just for local biodiversity, but for the global ecological balance. Connecting this to our overall theme, the Western Ghats serve as a vital reminder of the richness of our natural heritage and the urgent need to protect these unique ecosystems for future generations. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. The Western Ghats, as you can see, arise quite abruptly from the narrow coastal regions of the Konkan and Malabar. They stretch extensively across the western part of India, running approximately 1,600 kilometers from the north in Gujarat, near the river Tapti, all the way down to Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. This mountain range covers an area of about 160,000 square kilometers, making it a significant geographical feature of the country. In terms of size, the range is about 100 kilometers wide on average, which is quite substantial given the variety of landscapes it encompasses. When we look at the peaks, the highest points here are Anamuti, which reaches 2,695 meters above sea level, and Dadabetta at 2,637 meters. These peaks are a testament to the range's impressive elevation. One of the most notable climatic features of the Western Ghats is the heavy rainfall they receive, averaging around 3,000 millimeters annually. This high level of rainfall plays a crucial role in shaping the rich biodiversity and lush forests found in this region. Overall, the Western Ghats are not just a mountain range. They are a vital ecological and climatic barrier that influences weather patterns, supports diverse ecosystems, and connects various regions across the western coast of India. Let's take a closer look at the flora of this region. Here, you'll find several major plant families such as Bambusae, Coniferae, Bignoniaceae, Dipterocarpaceae, Guttiferae, Myotaceae, Anacardiaceae, Leguminosae, Lauraceae, and Sterculiaceae. These families represent a wide diversity of plant types that thrive here. In terms of species richness, the Western Ghats are incredibly rich, with around 4,000 known species of flowering plants. Out of these, approximately 1,500 are endemic, meaning they are found nowhere else in the world. This highlights the unique biodiversity of this region. Beyond flowering plants, the flora includes a variety of other organisms. There are about 320 species of pteridophytes, which are ferns and their relatives. Additionally, there are around 200 species of bryophytes, like mosses. The region is also home to approximately 300 species of algae, which are crucial for aquatic ecosystems. Lichens, which are symbiotic associations between fungi and algae, number around 800 species here. And fungi, essential for decomposition and nutrient cycling, include about 600 species in this area. All these diverse groups, plants, ferns, mosses, algae, lichens, and fungi, collectively contribute to the rich and complex biodiversity that makes this region so ecologically significant. This diversity not only supports the local ecosystem, but also underscores the importance of conservation efforts here. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. Let's explore the different forest types of the Western Ghats. Starting with the Northwestern Ghats, we have moist deciduous forests, which are primarily found in Maharashtra and Karnataka. These forests are characterized by their moderate rainfall and deciduous trees that shed leaves seasonally. Moving a bit higher in altitude, the Northwestern Ghats also host montane rain forests in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. These are denser, evergreen forests that thrive in the cooler, wetter mountain areas. Shifting to the Southwestern Ghats, we see a similar pattern. The moist deciduous forests here are present in both Kerala and Tamil Nadu, sharing many features with their northern counterparts, but influenced by slightly different climate conditions. Lastly, the Southwestern Ghats also contain montane rain forests, again in both Kerala and Tamil Nadu. These forests are typically rich in biodiversity and are crucial for maintaining the ecological balance of the region. Connecting these points, we see how the forest types vary mainly based on altitude and climate, creating a diverse mosaic of ecosystems that are vital for the overall health of the Western Ghats. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. The Western Ghats are incredibly rich in medicinal wealth, and this is truly remarkable. The forests and hills of this region are home to about 700 different medicinal plants, which is quite a diverse and valuable resource. Among these, some common plants like Mimosa pudica, Lucas aspera, Phyllanthus nereri, Calotropes gigantea, and Tridex procumbens stand out because they have been traditionally used to treat a variety of major ailments. For example, these plants have been known to help with conditions like jaundice, asthma, bronchial issues, and blood disorders. This highlights the importance of preserving these natural resources, as they hold potential cures for many health problems. Overall, the medicinal plants of the Western Ghats are a vital part of our natural heritage and offer promising possibilities for healthcare. Let's talk about some fascinating combinations and their medicinal uses. For instance, the plant parts of pepper, specifically the fruit, when mixed with cinnamon bark, create a very potent formula that can be used to effectively cure migraines. It's interesting how these natural ingredients can work together to provide relief. Moving on, plants like Annona squamosa are highly recommended for treating various kinds of tumors. This highlights the diverse therapeutic potential that certain plants hold in traditional medicine. However, it's also important to be aware of some critical issues. For example, plants such as Sriracha asoka, Gloriosa superba, and Strychnos nux vomica are incredibly rich in medicinal strength, yet they are on the brink of extinction. This underscores the urgent need for conservation efforts, especially as we recognize their value in traditional healing practices. Connecting all these points to our overall theme, it's clear that while nature offers us powerful medicinal resources, we must also be mindful of preserving these invaluable plant species for future generations. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the medicinal plants native to the Western Ghats. One notable species is Artocarpus hirsutus, commonly known for its traditional uses in treating various ailments. Moving on, Cinnamomum whitei is another important plant. It's valued not only for its aromatic properties, but also for its medicinal potential, especially in Ayurveda. Lastly, Diospyros paniculata, which is known for its therapeutic qualities, plays a significant role in local medicine systems. These plants highlight the rich biodiversity of the Western Ghats and underscore the importance of preserving this natural pharmacy. Understanding these species helps us appreciate their contribution to traditional medicine and the overall health of our ecosystems. Let's take a closer look at some of the key plant species we've highlighted here. First, Garcinia indica, commonly known as kokum, is renowned not only for its vibrant color, but also for its medicinal and culinary uses. It plays a significant role in traditional practices and has potential health benefits. Moving on, Michelia nalagrica, a lesser-known but equally important species, is valued for its aromatic properties and its role in local ecosystems. Its fragrant flowers are often used in traditional rituals. Lastly, Rhododendron arboreum, the national flower of several regions, is notable for its striking appearance and ecological importance. These plants collectively exemplify biodiversity and highlight how different species contribute uniquely to our environment and culture. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding these species helps us appreciate the richness of our botanical heritage and the importance of conserving these valuable plants. Orchids are truly fascinating because this region boasts a huge variety of them, along with many endemic flowers that are unique to this area. It's incredible to think about the diversity of these plants, many of which can only be found here. One of the most commonly distributed orchid species in the Western Ghats is impatiens. These orchids typically grow close to small streams, often on the hill slopes. This preference for moist, shaded environments helps them thrive in this lush landscape. So, when we talk about the rich biodiversity of the Western Ghats, orchids are a perfect example of the region's unique and delicate ecosystem. Today, I want to highlight two fascinating orchid species, Rhynchostyles retusa and Lewisia zeylanica. These plants are excellent examples of the incredible diversity within the orchid family. Rhynchostyles retusa is known for its striking, densely packed flower spikes, which are quite showy and often fragrant. It's a great example of epiphytic orchids that thrive on trees in tropical regions. On the other hand, Lewisia zeylanica has a more delicate appearance with smaller flowers, but it's equally important because it showcases the variation in growth forms and habitats among orchids. Recognizing these species helps us appreciate the adaptability and evolutionary diversity of orchids, which ties into the broader theme of how orchids have evolved to occupy a wide range of ecological niches. These examples remind us of the importance of conserving their natural habitats so that such unique species can continue to thrive. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the key areas in the Western Ghats that are particularly rich in endemism. First up, we have the Agathia Malay Hills, which are home to approximately 150 species found nowhere else. That's a significant concentration of unique biodiversity. Moving on, the Nilgiri Hills are also notable, hosting around 93 endemic species. These hills are part of a vibrant ecological corridor that supports a wide variety of life. Then there's Anemuti, which might be less in number, about 30 species, but still critically important for conservation. The Palani Hills contribute around 18 endemic species, adding to the region's rich tapestry of life. And finally, the Anemalai, with approximately 13 species, underscores how even smaller pockets can harbor unique flora. These areas collectively highlight the incredible biodiversity that the Western Ghats support. Recognizing these hotspots is essential because they represent the core of endemic richness in the region. Protecting these specific areas helps ensure that these unique species continue to thrive, reinforcing the overall importance of conservation in the Western Ghats. The Western Ghats are truly a treasure trove of biodiversity, hosting thousands of animal species. What's remarkable is that among these, at least 325 are considered globally threatened, highlighting the importance of conserving this region. Many of these species are endemic, meaning they are found nowhere else on Earth. This is especially true for amphibians, reptiles, and birds, which have evolved unique characteristics to survive in this specific environment. Recognizing the richness of fauna here really underscores why protecting the Western Ghats is critical, not just for the local ecosystem, but for global biodiversity as a whole. It's a vivid example of how a single region can be a sanctuary for so many life forms. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. There are at least 140 mammal species in this habitat, highlighting the rich biodiversity we're discussing. Among these mammals, the arboreal lion-tailed macaque stands out because it's currently endangered. In fact, there are only about 2,500 individuals remaining in the wild, which is quite concerning. The largest population of these macaques is found in the Silent Valley National Park, making this area critically important for their conservation. The lion-tailed macaque prefers evergreen rainforests, typically found below 700 meters above sea level. They have a home range of approximately 1.25 square kilometers, which means they need a substantial area to thrive. It's also important to note that when forest canopies are opened up, whether through logging or other disturbances, it can disrupt their movement and habitat use. Understanding these points helps us see how sensitive these animals are to environmental changes and why protecting their natural habitat is so vital for their survival. This connects directly to our overall theme of conserving biodiversity and maintaining healthy ecosystems. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. The Nilgiri tar, or Hemitragus hylocrius, is a fascinating species that inhabits the higher elevations between the Nilgiris and the Ashambu Hills. These areas form a unique habitat, providing the cool, rugged terrain that these animals prefer. Over this approximately 400-kilometer range, it is estimated that there are around 2,000 individuals of this species. That might not seem like a lot, but it highlights how specialized and localized their population is. The Nilgiri tar is an endemic species, meaning it's found nowhere else in the world. Its limited distribution makes it particularly important from a conservation perspective. We see similar patterns in the Nilgiris, Araviculum, and Palani Hills, where only a few species of flora and fauna are present. This specialization underscores the unique biodiversity of these hill ecosystems. Understanding the habitat and population of the Nilgiri tar helps us appreciate the delicate balance of these high-altitude environments. Protecting such endemic species is crucial because they are integral to the health and stability of these ecosystems. So, by conserving the Nilgiri tar, we are also safeguarding the broader ecological integrity of this region. The tiger, scientifically known as Panthera tigris, is actually the largest of all the big cat species. When fully grown, a tiger can reach a total body length of up to 3.38 meters, which is quite impressive. In terms of population, according to the Ministry of Environment and Forests, there were about 2,226 tigers in India back in 2014. This number highlights the importance of conservation efforts in the region. However, despite their majestic presence, tigers face significant threats. Encroachment into their habitats and biotic pressures, such as loss of prey and environmental changes, have led to increased human-animal conflicts. These conflicts occur when tigers come into contact with human communities, often resulting in unfortunate consequences for both sides. This issue underscores the broader theme of balancing wildlife conservation with human development. Protecting species like the tiger is crucial, not only for maintaining biodiversity, but also for preserving the ecological balance of their habitats. Let's talk about the Asian elephant, scientifically known as Elephas maximus. These incredible animals are considered keystone species, which means they play a crucial role in maintaining the health and balance of their ecosystems. In many ways, elephants act as ecosystem engineers, gardeners, and architects. They shape their environment through their activities and help sustain other species around them. One of the most fascinating roles elephants have is as seed dispersers. They consume a variety of fruits and plants, and by moving across large distances, they spread seeds far and wide. This natural seed dispersal is essential for forest regeneration and biodiversity. Now, you might wonder, what's so special about elephant dung? Well, it's actually vital for many reasons. Elephant dung provides nutrients back into the soil, aiding plant growth. It also serves as a habitat for numerous insects and microorganisms, contributing to the overall health of the ecosystem. Lastly, elephants are habitat modifiers. Their behaviors, like uprooting trees, creating water holes, or trampling vegetation, change the landscape in ways that benefit many other species. These modifications create new habitats and pathways, fostering a dynamic and resilient environment. So, in summary, elephants are much more than just large mammals. They are key players in their ecosystems, shaping and supporting the complex web of life around them. Let's talk about reptiles, specifically the snake family Uropeltidae. This family is almost entirely restricted to this particular region, which makes it quite unique. If you look at their diversity, you'll notice that there are more species found in the moist deciduous forests, highlighting the importance of these environments for their survival. All 97 species of Uropeltidae, spanning across 36 different genera, are endemic to this area, meaning they are found nowhere else in the world. That really underscores just how specialized and localized these snakes are. When we consider the broader reptile community here, the majority of species are snakes. And if you observe their behavior and habitat, you'll see that snakes dominate the forest floor, playing a crucial role in maintaining the ecological balance of these forests. So, understanding these snakes helps us appreciate the rich biodiversity and the importance of conserving their natural habitats. They are a key part of the ecosystem, especially in these moist deciduous forests. The amphibians of the Western Ghats are truly fascinating in their diversity and uniqueness. In fact, over 80% of the 179 amphibian species found here are endemic, meaning they are found nowhere else in the world. This high level of endemism really highlights how special this region is for amphibian biodiversity. Most of these endemic species are concentrated in the rainforests of the Western Ghats, which provide the ideal humid and lush environment they need to thrive. And here's something quite remarkable. A skin extract from the frog Epipetabates tricolor has been found to block pain 200 times more effectively than morphine. That's a huge breakthrough in pain management research. It's a perfect example of how studying these unique species not only deepens our understanding of biodiversity, but also opens up potential avenues for medical advancements. All of this underscores the importance of conserving these habitats, not just for the species themselves, but for the benefits they could bring to humanity as well. Today, I want to highlight two fascinating amphibians, Nasicabatrachus sahiadrensis, also known as the purple frog, and the golden poison arrow frog. These species really exemplify the incredible diversity and adaptation in amphibians. Nasicabatrachus sahiadrensis is native to the Western Ghats of India. It's quite distinctive with its bloated body and pointed snout, which helps it burrow underground. This species is a great example of how amphibians have evolved unique physical features to survive in specific environments. On the other hand, the golden poison arrow frog is found in Colombia. It's renowned for its vibrant coloration and, unfortunately, its potent toxin. This toxin is so powerful that it can be lethal to predators, showcasing how some amphibians have developed chemical defenses as a survival strategy. Connecting these points to our overall theme, both frogs demonstrate the incredible range of adaptations amphibians have developed, from physical traits to chemical defenses, highlighting their vital role in ecosystems and their importance for biodiversity. Today, let's take a closer look at the fish species in our freshwater ecosystems. We have identified 218 species that are either primary or secondary freshwater fishes. What's particularly interesting is that over half of these, about 53%, are endemic, meaning they are unique to this region, 116 species across 51 genera. When we consider their habitats, these fishes mostly thrive in deep waters that are slow-moving. These environments support the highest diversity of fish species, providing a variety of niches for different species to thrive. Additionally, the very deep waters found in lakes, reservoirs, and dams are especially important. These areas are ideal for larger fish species and also serve as habitats for introduced species, which can sometimes alter the local ecosystem dynamics. Understanding this diversity and habitat preference helps us appreciate the complexity of freshwater ecosystems and the importance of conserving these habitats for the myriad of fish species they support. Birds are a fascinating part of our ecosystem, and in this region, we have at least 508 different bird species. Most of these, around 500, are found in the Western Ghats, which is a biodiversity hotspot. This highlights how rich and unique the Western Ghats are when it comes to avian diversity. Within this diversity, there are at least 16 bird species that are endemic to the Western Ghats, meaning they are found nowhere else in the world. That's quite significant because these species are unique to this region and depend heavily on its specific habitats. Additionally, we see nearly 600 different forms of resident and migratory birds. Some of these are permanent residents, while others come here during migration seasons, adding to the dynamic bird life of the area. If we look at Kerala specifically, several endemic species such as the Malabar gray hornbill, the rufous babbler, and the crimson-backed sunbird are found there. These species are vital indicators of the health of their ecosystems. Lastly, an important point to remember is that the floristic composition of woody plants directly influences which bird species thrive in an area. The types of trees and plants available shape the bird community, making plant diversity a key factor in maintaining healthy bird populations. All these elements show how interconnected the flora and fauna are in this region, emphasizing the importance of preserving both to maintain the rich bird diversity we see here. Let's take a closer look at some of the endemic bird species that are unique to this region. First, we have the rufous-breasted laughing thrush, a bird known for its distinctive call and vibrant plumage. Then there's the Nilgiri wood pigeon, which is quite elusive and plays a vital role in seed dispersal. The white-bellied shortwing is another fascinating species, often seen darting through the undergrowth. We also have the broad-tailed grassbird, which prefers open grasslands, and the gray-breasted laughing thrush, another charming member of the laughing thrush family. The blackened rufous flycatcher is notable for its striking coloration and insect-hatching prowess. The Nilgiri flycatcher, endemic to these mountains, is a favorite among birdwatchers. Moving on, the Nilgiri pipit is a ground-dwelling bird adapted to high-altitude areas. The Malabar blue-winged parakeet and the Malabar gray hornbill are vibrant and essential to their habitats. The white-bellied treepie is known for its intelligence and adaptability, while the gray-headed bulbul adds to the region's rich avian diversity. Finally, we have the crimson-backed sunbird, a small but dazzling bird that adds a splash of color to the landscape. These species highlight the incredible biodiversity of this region, emphasizing the importance of conservation efforts to protect these endemic birds and their habitats. Insects are a fascinating group, with roughly 6,000 species found in our region. When we look specifically at butterflies in the Western Ghats, out of 334 species recorded, an impressive 316 have been reported from the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. This really highlights the rich diversity of butterfly species in this area. Moving on to odonates, which include dragonflies and damselflies, the Western Ghats is home to about 174 species. Among these, 107 are dragonflies and 67 are damselflies. What's particularly exciting is that 69 of these species are endemic, meaning they are found nowhere else in the world. Most of these endemic odonates have a close relationship with rivers and streams, which are vital habitats for their survival. This connection to freshwater ecosystems underscores the importance of conserving these habitats, not just for the insects, but for the overall health of the ecosystem. All of these details tie back to our broader theme, the incredible biodiversity of the Western Ghats and the urgent need to protect it. By understanding the diversity and habitat preferences of insects like butterflies and odonates, we can better appreciate their role in maintaining ecological balance. Let's take a closer look at the fascinating diversity within butterfly families. Starting with the Papilionidae, also known as swallowtail butterflies, which include about 19 species. They're easily recognizable by their striking tail-like extensions on their hindwings, and they often symbolize beauty and elegance. Moving on to the Piridae family, or the yellow-white butterflies, which encompass around 34 species. These butterflies are typically characterized by their bright yellow and white colors, and they're quite common in many habitats. Next, we have the Nymphalidae, known as brush-footed butterflies. This is the largest family, with about 97 species, and they're notable for their varied patterns and colors, making them visually stunning. Then there are the Lycaenidae, which includes blues, hairstreaks, and gossamer-winged butterflies, totaling around 101 species. These tiny butterflies are often incredibly delicate and vibrant, adding a lot of charm to their environments. Finally, we come to the Hesperiidae family, or skipper butterflies, with approximately 83 species. They're called skippers because of their quick, darting flight patterns, and they often have a more robust body compared to other butterflies. Understanding these families helps us appreciate the incredible diversity and adaptations that butterflies have developed. This diversity is a vital part of the broader ecosystem, reflecting the health and complexity of the habitats they inhabit. The Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, or NBR, is an important ecological zone that falls within the biogeographic region of the Malabar rainforest. This region is incredibly rich in biodiversity and plays a vital role in maintaining ecological balance. Within the NBR, you'll find several notable protected areas, each contributing uniquely to conservation efforts. For instance, the Mujamalai Wildlife Sanctuary is known for its diverse flora and fauna. Similarly, the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary is famous for its lush forests and wildlife. Bandipur National Park and Nagarhole National Park are also part of this network, both renowned for their tiger populations and large herds of elephants. Moving further, Mukurthi National Park and Silent Valley are also key components, with Silent Valley being particularly significant for its pristine tropical rainforest. These protected areas, collectively, highlight the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve's crucial role in safeguarding the region's rich biodiversity and connecting it to the larger conservation landscape of the Western Ghats. This interconnectedness underscores the importance of preserving these habitats, not just for local species, but for global ecological health. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. Let's take a closer look at the different zones within the NBR. First, the core area covers about 1,240.3 square kilometers, and this is really the heart of the protected region, where conservation efforts are most intense. Surrounding that, we have the buffer area, which extends to 4,280 square kilometers. This zone acts as a protective barrier, helping to mitigate external impacts on the core. Moving on, there are specific manipulation zones designated for forestry and tourism. The Forestry Manipulation Zone spans roughly 3,238.7 square kilometers, where sustainable forestry practices are implemented to balance economic needs and conservation. The Tourism Manipulation Zone is smaller, around 335 square kilometers, focusing on sustainable tourism activities that promote local engagement while preserving the environment. Then we have the Restoration Zone, which covers about 706.4 square kilometers. This area is actively being restored to enhance biodiversity and ecosystem health. Lastly, there's the Transition Zone, which plays a crucial role in connecting these different areas, facilitating ecological flow and community integration. All these zones together form a comprehensive management framework, aligning with our overall goal of sustainable conservation and responsible tourism. Understanding these boundaries helps us see how each area contributes to the larger vision of preserving the NBR's natural integrity while supporting local livelihoods. Let's take a closer look at the objectives of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. First, it's about conserving the in situ genetic diversity of species. This means protecting the natural genetic variation within species right in their original habitats, which is crucial for their long-term survival and adaptability. Next, we aim to restore degraded ecosystems to their natural conditions. This involves rehabilitating areas that have been affected by human activities or environmental changes, bringing them back to their healthy, functioning states. Another key objective is to provide baseline data for ecological and environmental research and education. This data is essential for scientists and students to understand the health of the ecosystems and to develop effective conservation strategies. Finally, the reserve is intended to function as an alternative model for sustainable development. Instead of exploiting resources unsustainably, we want to demonstrate how conservation and development can go hand in hand, serving as a blueprint for other regions. Overall, these objectives highlight a holistic approach, preserving biodiversity, restoring ecosystems, supporting research and education, and promoting sustainable practices, all of which are vital for ensuring the long-term health of our environment and aligning with the broader themes of conservation and sustainable development. So let's talk about the threats to the Western Ghats. This region is incredibly rich in minerals like iron, manganese, and bauxite, which makes it a vital resource. However, illegal mining of iron ore is a significant issue here. Such activities are often carried out without proper regulation, leading to serious environmental problems. For example, illegal mining results in pollution that degrades both water and air quality, impacting local ecosystems and communities. Additionally, mining activities can disturb the water table, affecting groundwater levels and availability. This can have far-reaching consequences for agriculture and daily life in the region. Another major challenge is the presence of the sand mafia, which illegally extracts sand from rivers. This not only depletes natural resources, but also causes erosion and habitat destruction. All these threats highlight how human activities, especially illegal practices, pose a danger to the ecological balance of the Western Ghats. Protecting this region is crucial, not just for its natural beauty, but also for its ecological and economic importance. Let's take a closer look at mining activity and monoculture, two key issues that impact our environment and sustainability. When we talk about mining activity, we're referring to the extraction of minerals and resources from the earth. While essential for modern life, this activity often leads to significant land degradation, habitat destruction, and pollution. It's important to recognize how these impacts can threaten biodiversity and disrupt ecosystems. Now, moving on to monoculture. This is the practice of growing a single crop over a large area. It might seem efficient, but it comes with its own set of problems. Monoculture reduces biodiversity, making crops more vulnerable to pests and diseases, and can lead to soil exhaustion over time. Both of these practices are connected to the broader theme of sustainable land use. They show us how our choices in resource extraction and agriculture can have far-reaching consequences. Balancing economic needs with environmental health is crucial, and understanding these concepts helps us consider more sustainable alternatives. Let's take a closer look at the impact of forest fires and intensive felling. These activities can have significant effects on forest ecosystems. Forest fires, whether natural or human-induced, can clear large areas quickly, but they also pose risks of loss of biodiversity and soil degradation if not managed properly. On the other hand, intensive felling, which involves the large-scale removal of trees, can lead to habitat destruction and disrupt ecological balance. Both of these activities underscore the importance of sustainable forest management. By understanding their effects, we can better develop strategies to protect our forests while balancing economic needs. These points are integral to our overall discussion on maintaining healthy, resilient forest ecosystems. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the human activities that impact our environment. First, thermal power plants. These facilities are a significant source of energy, but they also contribute to environmental degradation through emissions and thermal pollution. It's important to consider sustainable alternatives and stricter regulations to minimize their impact. Next, tourism. While tourism is vital for local economies, it can also lead to environmental stress, especially when not managed responsibly. Overcrowding, waste generation, and habitat disturbance are common issues we need to address to ensure tourism benefits both people and nature. Moving on, the depletion of sacred groves is another critical concern. These groves are often protected areas with cultural and ecological importance. When they are destroyed or neglected, we lose valuable biodiversity and traditional knowledge that has preserved these areas for generations. Then there's the unscientific methods of fish collection, using poisons, electrofishing, dynamiting, and even introducing exotic fishes like cyprinus. These practices are highly destructive, harming aquatic ecosystems and threatening native species. Adopting scientific and sustainable fishing practices is essential for maintaining healthy water bodies. Lastly, overgrazing. When livestock graze excessively, it damages vegetation cover, causes soil erosion, and reduces biodiversity. Managing grazing patterns and promoting sustainable land use are vital steps to protect our ecosystems. All these points highlight how human activities, if not carefully managed, can lead to significant environmental degradation. It's crucial that we recognize these impacts and work toward more sustainable practices to preserve our natural resources for future generations. Other threats to our ecosystems include mainly invasive species, which can really disrupt the natural balance. One such example is wattle, a plant that was originally brought here by the British for tannin extraction. Unfortunately, once introduced, it spread rapidly and started competing with native species. Another invasive species to watch out for is Lantana camara, a colorful but highly invasive shrub that can quickly take over large areas, crowding out local plants and reducing biodiversity. Then there's Parthenium, which is another problematic invasive weed that spreads aggressively and can cause health issues for both humans and animals, as well as displacing native flora. These invasive species highlight how human activities, like introducing non-native plants, can unintentionally create new threats for our environment. Recognizing and managing these threats is crucial for protecting the native biodiversity we aim to preserve in our overall conservation efforts. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide.